How's it going, guys? And welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at underused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Ogre. If you'd like to farm the Ogre for yourself, you're going to want to head over to the anvil and run all the way over to the save station next to where you first meet Tina. From there, you're going to backtrack a little bit and head over to this little jail area to kill the Anointed Alpha. However, it is worth noting that the Anointed Alpha will only spawn after you have completed the Malevolent Practice side quest. The Ogre is a legendary Vladof assault rifle which can come in ×1 or ×2, consuming 1 and 2 ammo respectively, and is locked to non-elemental explosive damage, as its legendary effect is that it shoots out these explosive rockets. Despite dealing splash damage, however, it is not able to roll with any splash anointments. The Ogre has had 2 direct buffs, initially getting a 38% weapon damage boost, then being followed up by another 56% bonus to its weapon damage. Now look, I may be a fucking boomer to like 90% of the internet now, but the best way to describe this gun is just incredibly fucking mid. I rarely ever use that term unironically, but it is genuinely the best way to describe the Ogre, which is really odd because this is a gun that I did not at all remember being as just meh as it is. When I first thought of doing this series, this is one that has been on that list since day one. I thought that this was actually worthwhile. I thought that this was a very good gun and just super underrated, because I feel like at one point it was. I feel like there was a time when the Ogre was actually very, very good, because I vividly remember a time where it was like one of the best guns on Mo's, but no one really used it. But now, even on Mo's against trash mobs, it's just okay. It's not really anything spectacular, which is a damn shame because of the prestige that the fucking Ogre holds in the Borderlands series. While never really being the best of the best or top tier in these games, the Ajax Ogre is probably the most iconic hybrid from Borderlands 1, and the absolute insane difficulty level of actually getting an Ogre in Borderlands 2 is enough to make it quite recognized. While not holding the same amount of fame as like the Deepa, for example, it is still one of those iconic weapons that really is just core to this franchise. And it's really unfortunate to see it reduced down to like nothing. It's incredibly easy to get one. There's no super difficult, hard to find variant of it, and it honestly barely has a legendary effect. But okay, I'm going off on a tangent. That's not what this series is about. This series is about performance. And what this gun lacks in living up to its ancestors, it also lacks in performance. It is honestly quite comparable to the Damned, which I've also reviewed in this series, in the sense that there's nothing super wrong with it, it's just incredibly okay. But honestly, I think the Damned edges it out just a slight little bit more, because the Ogre can't even work well with like ties that bind. It's not even that good on Mo's. Like anything that should be making this just broken, that can make any other gun broken, makes this thing look good at best. Just good. The only time the Ogre felt even remotely acceptable was sometimes playing Zane versus a frozen enemy. I would be running at like Mach 10 towards them, and it would do some pretty decent damage because Zane moves faster than the bullets do, and so they all just kind of hit at one time, giving this huge burst of damage, and it gives you the illusion that the gun is actually better than it is. So I guess it has that going for it. As long as you shoot an enemy on like the 4th Tuesday of June under like a full moon or some shit, it kind of makes you think it's a little bit better than it is. But yeah, I mean, in conclusion, this is just the most pathetic reincarnation of the Ogre yet. It just has nothing to offer. It has no relevance in the game whatsoever. It is just barely usable, and it's kind of just there. While I do believe at one time it was actually pretty decent and pretty underrated, at this point it definitely deserves its spot as just not being thought about. But that's gonna about do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. Down in the description will be a link to my Twitch channel where I will be live after this video goes up. And also while you're down there, you can also check out the link to my Discord server. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.